Haha, I was muted. Alright, that should be good. Okay, so today, this is a little bit different than what I normally do. I am going to be doing a, let's see, I have my chat box totally hidden, right? Yep, okay. Sorry about that. I am going to be doing an endurance stream. This is like kind of a last minute silly idea that I had. For Fingo this week, one of the fish on the list is Giant Taimen, which is like the most annoying fish to catch for Shadowbringers because it has no anything to it. It's literally just you cast and 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 you cast until you catch it. It has no window. It's always up. It has no weather requirement. It's just always up. It's super rare. It slips. It's just really annoying. It's just a genuinely very irritating fish. It has no redeeming qualities. And if I catch it, it completes 2 lines on my Fingo board. So, or Fingo. So I'm going for it. I have not. You can see I'm not even in fish position, so I haven't even surf slapped anything yet. So I figured this will be like kind of an endurance stream. I have work tomorrow, so I can only go so long technically. And I have 190 bait bugs. I think what's the best slap? It's like Giant Taimen. I forget what the it's like a 2. It's a 2 exclamation point bite, I'm pretty sure. Let me get my bait box. It's a 2 exclamation point bite. Yeah, it's kind of a longish bite, I think. So if I slap, yeah, this one. So if I slap this, that'll be ideal, and then I can get started on actually trying to catch this, which is going to be really not much to it. Honestly, all I'm going to be doing here is kind of chatting. Sorry, one sec. I have a lot of thoughts about Endwalker big fishing. I figured now would be kind of a good time to just sort of randomly get them all out. For as long as, you know, maybe the music's too loud in game. Let me try it down a little. Yeah, looks like it's a little too loud. Yeah, figured now might be a good time to get my Endwalker fishing thoughts out. I don't think there's really anything I have to say that wasn't already kind of covered in like Fruity Snacks' really long pseudo podcast video thing. But I really do think that the Endwalker fishing kit did so much for older big fish. It's kind of amazing, honestly. Like, especially the ones that I really kind of keep coming back to. Warden of the Seven Hues post Endwalker is like kind of incredible because the combination of triple hook and fish eyes basically means that Warden Jail is dead. Like, it used to be that if you missed one of the indigo, or if you didn't get your like indigo prisonfish or firelight goldfish within the within their windows, you were stuck for a full Eorzean day, and you had to wait like literally a real world hour, and you were just stuck there. And it was like obnoxious as hell, and everyone like that was just like a known thing that you had to do. And I don't think people called it Warden Jail, even though that's really a funny joke. Kind of a missed opportunity there. I don't think the term jailing really came around until Lancetfish. They should have called it Warden Jail because it's a great joke. But Yeah, now with fish eyes, you can just keep going for the violet prism fish and the red prism fish that you need to mooch. Especially because the really weird fact is, it turns out that the indigo prism fish and firelight goldfish don't actually have a time requirement. It's only the fish to mooch, not the mooch fish. And then triple hook makes it so that you only need to actually like get one successful mooch off. You don't need to it used to be you had to get it twice, which within one window was really hard, which meant it was super common to be stuck here for an hour, sometimes two. Like very commonly, like almost always at least 1 hour, and sometimes 2 hours. I just restart my countdown, I don't think it matters. But yeah, post Endwalker Warden is like so much better. It's like not even funny. That's probably, I would say, yeah, I think it's, I would say that it's probably the case that Warden of Seven Hues is like the most improved experience with the Endwalker kit. Because like, I mean, it used to be like genuinely sometimes miserable, because you had to set aside like an hour or two to go for it, and now you can just like, it's like 20 to 40 minutes. It's 40 minutes if you want to do it well. It's 20 minutes if you can like really squeeze it through. You can fisheye Steph now, which is fun. We just showed up. Gotta turn my camera. Oh, it's Neff. Hello, Neff. Zero slash. If you watch this on a VOD or something later, you won't be able to see that zero slash, but I did it. I've chosen the least pleasant possible position here. What is that? OMG. I don't know why I typed that into the chat when I could just talk, because you're in the stream chat. Oh well. I'm just sort of rambling right now about my my random ass thoughts on like Endwalker kit applied to older fish right now. I just got done talking about Warden. I think Warden is probably the most improved fish with the Endwalker kit, because fish eyes and triple hook means that you don't get stuck for an hour or two every time, which is a huge improvement. And next most improved, I think, is Ruby Dragon, because now you're not like... Ruby Dragon, you don't get in that situation, right? It's so much better now. And fish eyes means you're not like pinned there forever if you like didn't make it. Like if you just got unlucky with your mooches, you're not just like pinned. I like Ruby Dragon also with makeshift bait, because you don't get stuck in the situation anymore where you like got your Kuar literally like the second that Patience 2 ran out. Because that happened to me so many times when I was going for it originally. It was the worst thing. Like, all the time. I have, like, failed every type of Ruby Dragon window. I don't have a number because I wasn't counting, but I hit up every single Ruby Dragon window I could from when I started fishing seriously, sometime during the last Yokai Watch event, which was in like, was that fall 2021? No, fall 2020? I don't remember. It was like end of 5.2 or end of 5.3, up until like 3 months after the release of Endwalker. It was 18 months. Like, I have every possible type of Ruby Dragon window failure. I have seen, like, every type of flop is miserable. It's probably well over 100 windows at this point. But I don't want to say that for sure because for all I know, it might actually be like 86 or something. It sure feels like over 100. Ooh, nice. Oh, what? Oh, fuck. Why did I do that? I have like the worst monkey brain. I'm just gonna wait a couple of seconds until my high cordial pops so I can surface slap or resurface slap an Ucho Taimen. Yeah, Ruby Dragon, Warden, both good. I fish-eyed sculptors for a Stephacanthus when I was doing the Bob Goblin Blitz. I don't think there was any benefit to doing that. It wasn't easier. It wasn't better in any meaningful way. Steph has really high uptime, so it's not like it improved things any. It was just kind of a fun pro gamer show-off thing. I don't think any of the Endwalker kit really did much for that. Makeshift Bait did a lot for Stephacanthus. Yeah, no, Makeshift Bait did a lot for Steph. But you can double hook sculptors real easily now. But man, Makeshift Bait's so fucking OP. I just think about that a lot. It's so powerful, I literally just like forget about how ridiculous it is sometimes. And let's see, Drep, nothing. And then unconditional, nothing. On the one hand, it's like, part of me is like, they should nerf Makeshift Bait a little. But on the other hand, I don't want them to because it's so good. I need it. The other thing I'm like thinking about, did people like, I wasn't around for Stormblood fishing very much. Solidly on Team Nerf MSV. Yeah, that's a very reasonable take. Honestly, the only nerf Makeshift Bait needs is to make it break Mooch. That's the only thing that it would need. Because that's the most OP thing about it, I think. If Makeshift Bait broke Mooch, I think everything else about it would be fine. Like, you can still double and triple hook with it, and like I'd still be fine with it. But if it broke Mooch, then you couldn't just like infinite chain it the way you can right now. Because right now it trivializes shit like I mean, I still didn't get a Horned King for Fingo this week. I have like one more shot tomorrow morning, but I literally ran a continuous mooch loop through an entire window because I got lucky on natural larges, and I got like 3 Makeshift Baits in a row during the window, just like back to back to back, which is insane. Like, that's way too much. I feel like they don't really nerf the Fisher skills much, though. At least I haven't seen them too much. I don't know. Maybe Makeshift Bait will be powerful enough if they finally decide that it's time. They'll probably not. My big fear is my 2 least wanted skills. The 2 things that I absolutely do not want the most are Mooch Slap. Just because... Yeah, I do not want Mooch Slap, and I do not want some kind of guaranteed anti-slip. Those are my 2, like, please no. Because if we get like a a guaranteed anti-slip. So it's just like that kills. I've seen people seriously like suggesting that as like a good idea. I'm just like, come on. It's the same people who just like complain about my gear is so good, how come the fish still gets away? I don't know about weather fish eyes. There would have to be some heavy penalties on that. Like, really heavy. Because I think the weather is, like, one of the key things for fishing for me. Like, it's not... Unpredictable is not the right word. The pseudo-random aspect to the weather, the way that it's, like, so... random. I keep saying random, that's not the right word. It's pseudo-random, but, like... Yeah. You can only do one or the other. It should cost way more GP than, time fish eyes. And still only last a minute. Because, like, being able to eliminate the weather requirement just absolutely kills a lot of, like, just a ton of the fish, like, right off the bat. Because, I mean, if it lasts a minute, that means that you can go for Elid Scan every Eorzean day, if it worked on legendaries. Which it wouldn't, but, like, you could go for, like, Celestial every Eorzean day. You could go for, like, what else could you go? You could go for, like... I mean, it would be, like, Bobgoblin Bass, 1 hour downtime. Like, any big fish, 1 hour downtime. Like, that's the thing. And it's like, I think the, I don't know, the weather requirements give a lot of the fish their unique kind of personalities to me. Like, Bobgoblin Bass is like a weird ass. Oh, did you get it? Oh, man. Nice, I think. Hello. Oh, slip. What am I? I'm almost 60 bait in the hole now. Nice. We're chatting about fishing skills for Dawn Trail. What we want, what we don't want. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like suggesting weather eyes, but like I really... Oh, hello, Planeswater. I really just the weather requirements give the fish such their unique personalities to me that I really just like don't want that one personally. That's my hot take. I want them to do something like weird. Like, makeshift bait felt weird to me. Like, the introduction of Angler's Arts was strange. Mooch Slap is like, God. So many people want Mooch Slap that I'm actually, like, really nervous they'll do it. Mooch Slap is so... I've thought a lot about, like, what the least bad possible implementation of Mooch Slap would be. And I think... Yeah, I think... There is a way I think you could do it. There is a way you could do Mooch Slap without it being awful. I think how it would be is... number one, it can't be compatible with Surface Slap. And number two, it's just a timed buff. So it would be like Surface Slap 2, the fish is gone for 2 minutes or something. So that would be like the least bad possible implementation. So no additional charge of surface slap. And the problem is that would like really fuck Steth. Like that would fuck Steth hard. But it would still like it would leave Ruby Dragon completely intact. Which I think when people want Moosh Slap, a lot of the time what they really want is Ruby Dragon. And they're not thinking about sculptors. It would also get Trianoi, I forgot what the plural is, Trianoi, out of the way of Horizon events, which would be nice for Whale. Right? People are just like always mad at Ruby Dragon. It's got the most I don't know what the way to put it is. Ruby Dragon gets a lot more hate than I think it potentially merits. Let's see here. Not as much as the whale does, though. God. I don't know if you watched, or I don't know if you've looked at Fruity's 55-minute whale podcast video thing, but like there's this gigantic comment, or at least there was a couple like a few days ago when I last checked. There's this huge comment on it, like right at the top, that's just like, actually I disagree, the whale is so horrible, it's the worst thing in the entire world and it killed my family. People really just fucking hate the whale. I think my gut instinct is that people react worse to long downtimes than they do to most other things. And given the bizarre, like, freak downtime the whale had off the bat, I think people will come around to hating it less over time. I hope. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. Someone, I'm usually one of the people who, like, goes through poking through the windows, but someone actually went through, if Whale had been released at Endwalker launch, its third ever downtime in excess of 10 days would have been the one that happened like 2 weeks after it debuted with 6.55. So it just like came right out the bat with like one of its longest ever downtimes, and then like it got another super long one immediately, and then like another super long one immediately. Like 3 of its first 5 super long downtimes, if the whale had come out with 6.0 instead of with 6.55, 3 of its first 5 10-day downtimes would have been after the release of 6.55. So like people have a really wrong view of how often the whale actually goes on vacation, including myself for a really long time. I actually remember during the Bob Goblin Blitz, I was doing some streaming stuff, and I was like sitting here just like chatting and talking about how I was like fully expecting them to add a rare ping alert to the fish cord for the whale because it had so much long downtime, and it doesn't. There's only 3 weathers in Ultima Thule, and they're not even like 2 of them aren't even that rare. Like if you actually look at the This is where I'm at mentally. I was looking at the I was actually looking at the weather stacks for every zone, and it's like the umbral wind and astromagnetic storm weathers aren't even that rare. Like they're both like some like 20% ish, maybe a little less. Like they're not. I wish I had the actual numbers. I don't know where to find those instead of just like the graphic of the weather stacks. The other thing that I think is really funny, which explains a lot, the fog, sorry, the cloud weather matches up exactly with umbral wind, and the fog weather let me back up. Clouds in Raktika Greatwood match up exactly with umbral wind in Ultima Thule, and fog in Raktika Greatwood, it takes up a little bit less of its weather stack than the astromagnetic storm in Ultima Thule, which means that it is always cloudy in Raktika Greatwood if there is umbral wind in Ultima Thule, or at least pretty much always. And there is less fog than there is astromagnetic storm. Therefore, it is impossible for Deep Haunt to spawn without there also being a sidereal whale. Literally impossible. I love that. It like just really confirms, because I kept noticing that. It's just like, oh, they're always. It's like, it's not that they're always together. It's like every time Deep Haunt is, there's always a whale when there's a Deep Haunt. Which one do you go to? If they extend Fish Eyes in Dawn Trail to Shadowbringers, it'll be a lot easier, because it'll be less. There'll be 3 times more Deep Haunts. But Giant Taimen's bait bugs, right? That's where I'm at. It's bait bugs, right? Yeah, it is bait bugs. Yeah. I mean, whale pings aren't terribly likely, just because it's actually not that rare a window. If you actually like look going forward, it's just not that rare a window. And the Felina is just like a huge pain and a half. I've been thinking about this. I really hope that Fish Eyes saves Lancetfish, but I don't know how much it can do for the whale when it eventually rolls around to Endwalker. I think if you can Fish Eye that first Mora semi-reliably, Lancet Jail is as good as dead. Because, like, why would you bother doing that? If there's a different strategy that works close to as well. This is a long bite. Slip. Alas. I started with 190. Why did I catch that? Am I stupid? Let me just take a second to regain some GP so I can slap a. Oh wait, is it still another bite? Oh, hey! Yay! Exactly 90. Woo! Yay. Hallelujah. Alright. Do I feel like going for Dameron Herring while I'm here? Yeah, why the hell not? I'm gonna go for the Dameron Herring. Let me see here. Dameron Herring. If I catch a Horned King tomorrow morning and a Moonlight Guppy tomorrow night, Dameron Herring will clear 2 more lines, but otherwise it doesn't complete 2 lines immediately the way that oops. Spoiled one. I can never remember which of these stupid rivers is which. Pretty should put these on the next ultimate scavenger hunt for Fish Fest next year, just because no one can distinguish these stupid identical rivers. They all look the same. All right, what's a good slap for this? I'm gonna assume it's either Gray Skipper or Cerulean Loach, just because that's everything in Ilmeg. Wow, would you look at that? It's either Gray Skipper or Cerulean Loach. The difference between this one, for if Planeswater is watching, if the difference between this one, wow, already. The difference between this one and Giant Taimen is that this one actually bites pretty frequently. It's just that it's slippery as hell and gets away like 90% of the time. I don't know what its actual slip rate is, but it feels like 90. It's probably close to 90. Yeah, I actually have an idea for I'm gonna do probably a second video after Dawn Trail comes out. I want to do something on Oops All Slips Fish Train. Oh my god, that would be a great way to just like that has to be for like advanced fishers and people who like know what they're doing and not for beginners, because that's a great way to turn people off fishing for life otherwise. Just like the most annoying possible fish train ever. Bring it, end it at the matriarch too. We have to end it at the matriarch. That's got to be the funniest. It would be very funny. Lapisaurus, brown to banana eel, matriarch. Oh god, wait. I have to let me see if I can find a good window. There's probably like a nice 2-hour block of time that has like all of them up. I can look up when there's one. Yeah, I mean, Xenacanthus is easy enough to fit in. Is Listercanthus slippery enough to justify? Maybe. I was saying, I'm gonna do another video, I think. This one more like kind of documentary type thingy after Dawn Trail comes out. I need it after, I need to know what happens with Lancetfish. Because basically my idea is either it's going to be like Lancet Jail is dead, here's the history of fishing's worst quote-unquote strat, fuck Lancet Jail, it's dead and gone, we dance on its grave tonight. Or alternatively, somehow Lancet Jail survived. Here is the history of fishing's worst quote-unquote strat, which people continue to do even in spite of everything. This is still everyone's default approach. How did we get here? And why do we either remain, or why did we remain so long? I'll have to see what happens, but I think that would be a fun, like, a fun idea. Because I really fucking hate lancet fish. It is by far my least favorite fish in the entire game, and it's not close. Like, not even remotely. Is I'm so prone to sunk cost fallacy. Like, I know it's sunk cost fallacy. I'm sitting here like consciously aware that it's sunk cost fallacy, but I'm still here like, but I already was here for 3 hours. If I leave, then that first Mora's wasted. But if I leave, it'll all be gone. But it's all wasted if I'm gone. God. I hate lazy fish. It's just like it hits exactly the worst part of my psyche. I really, 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 really hope you can fish Mora. Or maybe they'll do something stupid and you can like IC Mora or double hook Mora or something. That'd be funny. Oh, no. What's biting at 32 seconds unchumped here? Cherry herring. Who are you? Oh, I've never caught one on this account. It's so funny. I'm 1 away from final fish, and I have some like ludicrously low total of fish caught. Some. What is it? No, here you go, unique fish. 933 fish caught. Yeah, fish eyes will give more frequent felina attempts, but it's still really rare. But it won't be window locked. Hopefully people will be better at catching horizon events by then. We'll have to see. I'm so curious what they add for Dawn Trail. Like, there's so we're just sitting here like idly speculating 2 weeks away from actually like knowing. I'm so curious what they add. I mean, by the time they fish eye whale, it'll be whatever comes after Dawn Trail anyway. So 2 whole X packs, but. Fisheye Lancet will save Lancet, I believe. If we can fisheye Amora reliably in the it's like the first 18 minutes of that full weather block, I think Lancet Jail is dead. It will no longer be like the optimal strategy, and we can stop recommending it to people. It'll take a while for that to filter out. It will always take a while for what the correct strategy is to filter out from like, I don't know what the right way to put this is, to filter out from like the hardcore fishers to like the broader community. But like, Lancet Jail sucks ass, and it's like, I don't know what to say. It's like, I'm not even sure I'd call it optimal so much as safe. It's the safe strat. It's the guaranteed way to pop int eventually. if you jail for a lancetfish, you are guaranteed to eventually pop intuition if you stay there forever. But that's the thing. You have to stay there forever. You can't leave. At least with the whale, you actually are guaranteed intuition with a pretty known time cost. You catch that felina, you know when your jail sentence is up. Lancetfish is just like, it just goes and goes. It's so rough. I have a chart. One sec. Let me pull this up. Do I have this here? Where is this? Here you go. So here's my like chart of when I caught every fish when I was doing the Bob Goblin Blitz. And like you will notice, yeah, so orange is legendaries and blue is like regular big fish. And you'll notice that I have one legendary that is like a solid 5 days to the right of all of the other other fish that I caught. And that's lancetfish, because I spent 5 days jailing for lancetfish and doing nothing else. Like, that's just it. I just spent 5 days trying to catch lancetfish, just in permanent lancet jail. And because this is an alt, that just meant that when I was not doing anything, I was just logged out and playing on my main, so it was fine. It had no actual opportunity cost. It was okay. That's why I saved Lancet for last, so that I could do this. But that was 5 fucking days of Lancet jail right there. That's awful. Like, that was so miserable. And it's such a gloomy pit. Like, Northwest Caliban Gorge is like just a gloomy... Oh, slip. It's just a gloomy pit. That's all you can say about it. The thing that drives me, yeah, right. The thing I don't like about Ultima Thule is I wish that after you beat, the game, the soundtrack went back to the version without the dude singing. Just because it's really... I don't like it. I don't like the guy singing. Is really... I loved that instrumental version. I have the soundtrack, and like the instrumental version is so nice. And that dude belting is just like really annoying, honestly. That's my hot Ultimate Thule take. I think a lot of people agree with me on that one. Like, it's great for like a big dramatic final part of the game, like when you're going up to the end, climbing up those glowy stairs, going to face the final confrontation. But like when I'm just like sitting around going between fates or like just kind of chilling, it's just like it doesn't work so well. It just really doesn't suit the vibe anymore. It just doesn't feel like good area music. It's like really good MSQ music. Like that's the thing is like I find it annoying after like hours. It's the same actually for the Locks music. Like it's really big and dramatic and epic, but it like starts to grate on me a little bit when I've been just like sitting there holding sculptors for an hour. Let's see. What else? But yeah, now the thing you were saying about the choose your own adventure aspect of the whale, like when I caught whale for the first time, um, I like it was right before it went on that first 14-day vacation. Like I caught it like the last possible window before it left, and I was like, oh my god, that was so close. But I think it's like last window that I could make it to. It had one like in the middle of a work day before it left. But the last window I could make it to was at like 8 p.m. on a Sunday or something. And I was like, I'm gonna start going for those Felinas like first thing in the morning. I'm gonna like literally first thing I wake up and I'm gonna hit every Felina window through the whole day to make absolutely sure that I am ready for it. And I caught Felina literally the first window, so I'm like, okay. So I just like logged out of the game and I couldn't play the game all day. And this was like a Sunday. It was like not long after 6.55 had dropped. So there was actually like still some stuff to do that was like new and fresh, and I was like, okay. So I was like, I genuinely like jailed myself for like 9 or 10 hours, and I'm like, well, this is simply my own fault, and I did this to myself, and I'm happy with this decision that I made because I wound up catching the whale down. But like, I feel like a lot of people do this thing where they catch the Felina early, like they show up really early and catch the Felina early, and then they get mad that they're stuck in jail for a long time. And I have to wonder about the thought process going on there a little bit. Like there's a big you did this to yourself kind of component going on here. Like if you show up 13 hours early to jail yourself and you succeed, you congrats, you succeeded. Like you should never, I don't know. I don't a lot of people say that I'm very optimistic, but I think it's more, I don't know if I'd call myself an optimist. It's more that I like am the type of person who anticipates how like anticipates like the good fortune realistically, if that makes sense. Yeah. God. Day early at every well window intense doom posting. God. The extent to which the whale is like the most hated fish right now is actually like depressing to me. Slip. My surefire strat for whale windows was to roll up what was it? I would show up to Felina to like my Felina window like 10 minutes early, and I would build my Angler's Art stacks in the abode of the E. so that I couldn't possibly catch any EBEs or anything before I headed over to Felina, so that I could remain pure with full angler's arts for trying to catch it. Because the worst thing you could do is accidentally like trigger that in too early. Because I also hear the stories of people who like try to sit there with the Felina and the collector's glove for like 6 or 7 hours. That's also like a big oopsie. Well, that's smart. That's a smart trick. My favorite way to prep for Hive is to show up 10 minutes early. Slip. I show up 10 minutes early and then just prep my Angler's Art stacks just like willy-nilly, because even if you trigger int, it wears off fast enough that who gives a shit. And then I make sure that I have two Astacus prepped. I see the second one and then I price catch. So I pretty much always go into if I don't have like, yeah, I see the second one that I price catch, so that I can just like right before the window starts cast out, catch the third, trigger int, and mooch makeshift bait. I love Hyphalosaurus. I feel like I feel so alone in loving Hyphalosaurus. I'm Hyphalosaurus's strongest warrior. I'm like the one person out here. If Hyphalosaurus has one fan, if Hyphalosaurus has 100 fans, I am one of them. If Hyphalosaurus has one fan, it's me. If Hyphalosaurus has 0 fans, it's I am dead. Just because it really... I feel like how Hyphalosaurus feels right now must be kind of like how Charibane felt on content. Because right now, Metal Spinner makes Charibane like re-triggering int really easy, because there's only 2 things Metal Spinner catches. But re-triggering the Hyphalosaurus int can be messy. And I really like that. And like trying to re-trigger it off the mooch loop, there's all sorts of weird like kind of gambling you can do. It's like, was that bite quite short enough? Do I risk it? Could that be a tilapia? Do I want to go for the double or the triple hook? Do I go for the mooch? Makeshift bait is still up. Do I think I can keep that mooch loop going long enough? Do I risk it? I've done some really dumb shit to try and keep those ints rolling during Hyphalosaurus, and they've worked out for me. I think it's just really fun. My one Hyphalosaurus gripe is that I wish it bit more often. That's like my one thing. I think a lot of the endwalker fish have the same issue. They're just like a little bit too shy. Like, I think the slip rates are fine, but they're just like a little too shy. Snowy, I wish it bit slightly more. Just because you could get the like... Fruity made like a really good point in his Endwalker legendary like retrospective video, where he's saying that if Snowy bit more, you could have like a back and forth kind of like tug and war vibe with it, where it's just like, oh, it bit, it got away, get back here, re-trigger in, it bit, it got away, like just kind of that like tug of war vibe. Like that would make it really fun. It's already pretty fun, though. Oh? Slippy herring. The only legendary for Endwalker that I genuinely think is bad is Lapisaurus. And it's like, I don't think I would think so little of it if it wasn't for the fact that Brown's Banana Eel came out in the same expansion. Because Lapisaurus elegans is just a legendary version of Brown's Banana Eel. They are borderline identical. Like, they have exactly the same gimmick. They've got the 2-hour window, they've got the high slip rate, they've got the short bite time. Like, literally, there's no. Literally, there's no difference between the two. That's my Lapisaurus complaint. It doesn't feel like a legendary because there's an identical big fish to it already within the same expansion. If Brown Banana Eel did not exist, I would think Lapisaurus was way better. But it does. So it diminishes it. And Furcicata is just kind of annoying. I've had really good luck with Fork. 99% slip rate. Oh my god. Honestly, the Lapisaurus should have been the long desired, fabled, always up legendary with a 99% slip rate. The people clamor for something that bullshit. The people demand it. Furcicata I've had really good luck with. I know that a lot of people have hate that thing, but I've had pretty decent luck with it so far. So I've got 4 of them so far. I'm getting roughly one every I'd say I would say it's averaging out. It feels like every 15 to 20 windows. It's not like I've actually fished 45 windows, but that's how it feels like it works out to. I know that's not really quite how statistics works, but that's just kind of the vibe I get. It's an annoying one. It definitely feels rarer than salad. That's not my unoriginal observation. It feels a lot worse, honestly. Oh, I've only got 9 bait bugs left. Gotta go farm some fleeting brands once I run out. LMAO. Nah. I'm really excited to see what Dawn Trail brings us, though, because, where the hell do we go from here? We're so OP. Fisher's got too many sure thing skills. Prize catch with the guaranteed larges, identical cast with the guaranteed next thing, surface slap with the guaranteed not next thing. And all three of those skills are permanently persistent. Like, none of them wear off until you've actually caught something, which is crazy. Makeshift bait just removing the need for larges entirely. Night. Yeah, maybe I'll just call it when I run out of the bait bugs. I did say this was just a Giant Taimen endurance stream, and I did get it. I should probably sort my laundry, honestly. This was fun, though. I don't actually need herring to complete any of my Fingo lines. I was just kind of doing this out of completionism. Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna call it here, honestly. Okay. Well. Cool. Well, thank you for coming and chatting with me about fish stuff. I'm gonna call it here. Probably no stream next weekend, and definitely not the weekend after that, because I'm fairly busy next weekend, and the one after that is not only is it Dawn Trail launch weekend, but also I am going to my cousin's, not my cousin, I'm going to my friend's wedding that weekend, and I'm missing Dawn Trail launch weekend because of that. I will be literally, I leave Friday morning at like 11, I think. I'm driving. I'm driving like a full state over, but I'm going to get up first thing in the morning and I'm going to try to fisheye a Moratecta. There's no Lancet windows that early, but I'm going to try and fisheye Moratectas and see how doable it is. So you'll either hear some sob stories from me that Lancet Jail has survived, or you'll see me triumphantly posting in Fishcord that I did it, or you'll see me weeping that I didn't manage to log in, which is probably the most likely option, honestly. And yes, that is actually what I'm going to be doing with my like precious 1 or 2 hours of pre-release time that I managed to get. So thank you for coming, and I mean, I chat with all of you with some frequency anyway, but see you all around. Bye.